Hi folks, Angelo Lambropoulos, Director of Lambros Realty, and here I am with the April 2021 Cherrybrook property market update. I'll get straight into it. So for the month of April, there were 11 registered home sales. The median price sitting at $2,060,000. The highest sale recorded was at $2,750,000. Average days on market was sitting at 23. Now we look at this, so we go back to April 2020 and how we sort of drawing a comparison from that. There were 10 registered home sales. The median price was sitting at 1.5 million. The highest sale recorded was 1,780,000 and average days on market was sitting at 40. So in more recent terms and how the market's tracking in comparison to March this year versus April, property prices they well and truly appear to have stabilized, with the median price in March was sitting at $2,085,000. As I just said, now April was sitting at $2,060,000. Average days on market is still the same at 23. So yeah, very similar. You can see the stabilization that's come into play. I'll sort of touch on that as I bit further on. The other thing as well that's worth noting is if you're looking at the median price comparison and where Cherrybrook's sitting now as opposed to January this year, median was 1.45, median price is now sitting at $2,060,000, so that's a staggering 42% increase. So it has powered along. Now the other thing, I also wanted to make mention, it's worth noting that there were 21 registered home sales in March. Versus what I've just told you here, 11 for the month of April. Now, that being said, there is a host of auctions scheduled to take place over this coming weekend, being the 8th of May and the 15th of May. So you should start to see the sales volumes increase this month in comparison to what we saw for the month of April. And again, it sort of ebbs and flows. The other thing as well, there's currently, as of I had a look at, I'm recording this video obviously Friday the 7th of May. There's 21 homes listed for sale at the moment. Now if you look at this April last month, there were 10 registered homes for sale. So inevitably the increase, and as I was saying, I'll get to this later on as to why the stabilization has occurred. The increase in stock levels has obviously given buyers a few more options to choose from, so it's not I guess the take it or leave it type scenario. So that's what has helped stabilize property values across the board, and I'd expect it to remain relatively stable. That's what Cherrybrook appears to do well. Stock levels remain consistently on the lower end. So we're still well below what I would consider an average of 25 to 30 homes. So still trekking along nicely, as you can see there. Now the other thing I just wanted to touch on quickly as well was bait pricing at auctions. I've had a few of you talk about auctions and disgruntled with missing out, a bit of confusion around that. So just to touch on that, both buyers and sellers, right? So the thing you've got to understand is, what I'd be asking if I was a buyer is, what's the price you've listed on your agency agreement? And what are the comparable sales you're using to justify this auction guide, okay? Now, if you think that the homes are being used to old data, they're not comparables, and you think it's a bait price to lure you in, well, perhaps something you may want to report to fair trading up to you, right? I'm not here to discuss that. What I am here to say is just when you are bidding at auctions, it's a case of understanding, knowing your budget, knowing what comparables are. So as an example, I mean, if you're seeing a single story out there that's guided 155, 165, and other comparables are sitting around the 2 million mark, well, you'd have to ask the question, where did that price come from, right? So, really the price should be guided in and around the 2 million mark, looking at the comparable sales that have taken place. So I guess what I'm getting at here is, the auction shouldn't be used to lure as many people in and get as many buyers and attract as much attention as you can, because, and again, as a seller, this is very dangerous for you as well, because if you're using a bait price to attract interest and you've got a $2 million home that's been guided for 165, you're already $350,000 behind the eight ball, right? So, you know, you'd started at 2 million, and buyers are accepting of that, right? Like, they understand that they'd rather have the truth and understand that, all right, well, yeah, okay, I can see why it's guided at 2 million, because the other single story homes have been selling for 2.1. So I guess the key is just be accurate with your price guide, keeps it open, honest for everybody. And, you know, I guess it's a satisfactory result for all. I mean, as a seller, you're going to sell for more. As a buyer, you're going to be satisfied because you're not being lied to. You don't have to worry about Department of Fair Trading coming in and opening your books because you've been reported. So, yeah, just a bit of information around that. And again, you know, I could go on about it for much longer, but just to give you a brief overview. And again, I'm open for discussion if anybody wants to ring and discuss this with me. And just a couple of general notes here. I've had a few of you reach out and ask if I've heard from Landcom in relation to what's happening with the apartments and in and around the station there. I haven't heard back. Yes, we were scheduled to hear something in early this year, January, February. It's now May, so I presume there's a stumbling block or a hurdle that's sort of come into play. Perhaps they're reassessing things. I don't know. I haven't got any information to give you yet. As soon as I do, I'll let you all know. The other thing that's worth noting as well, you've probably seen a petition floating around from one of the community members that's advocating for traffic lights to be put on New Line Road, County Drive, the Shepherd's Drive intersection where the roundabout is. So there's talks of that in the pipeline. Hornsby Council is obviously aware of it. So, you know, I'll keep you posted on progress with that. So that pretty much wraps things up for this month, guys. Thank you once again for watching. Any questions, you know where to find me. Angelo Lambropoulos, Director of Lambros Realty, Apple Tree Shops, Cherrybrook. You're welcome to come visit me. You can call me on 029481 0999. Email me on info@lambrosrealty.com.au. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next month.